This week I'm driving the 2022 Hyundai Kona N. For 2022, Hyundai offer a high-performance version of the Kona, the N. It's a pretty interesting, version of a subcompact SUV like this one. Most of the competition offer mostly more adventurous, more off-road version. So we'll go a little bit deeper today with this high-performance subcompact SUV. Under the hood of this Kona N, we can find a 4-cylinder, 2-liter turbo, good for 276 horsepower and 289 foot-pounds of torque. This engine is matched to 8-speed DCT transmission. So I'm gonna go on the road to see how this Kona N perform. All right, I'm gonna test the acceleration with the Kona N. It's an N model, so it means we've got a bunch of things to do to activate the launch control. First of all, you have to put in N mode. Then on the screen, there's a sheet with the N mode. So on the second screen, you can activate the launch control. So I'm gonna activate the launch control. Now I'm ready to go, but I'm gonna add some juice with the NGS button. So I'm gonna add 10 more horsepower with that button and we're ready to go. A lot of torque steer. There you go. You can do the 0 to 100 kilometers in about 5.2 seconds. Pretty quick off the line, this Kona N managed a little bit better the traction than the Elantra N, but still it's a front wheel drive. I wish it would be like an all-wheel drive system. Would be a little bit more fun to, get up and go off the line, but still pretty quick, 0 to 100 kilometers on the road with the Kona N this week. Obviously, this is a performance-focused SUV, so on the road, the suspension is pretty hard. Even if we're able to change the mode of the dampers in normal mode, it's a pretty harsh ride, I could say. Still better than the Elantra N and the Veloster N, but still kind of hard for our roads here in Quebec with all potholes and all that. So there's no, it's not a real SUV ride, I could say. It's more like a small hatchback kind of ride inside of this Kona N. But still, with that hard suspension, we've got some great handling. This Kona N is pretty light. It's easy to steer. It's easy to push it down the curve. Obviously, it's a front-wheel drive performance, a small SUV. You're losing some grip. You don't have the grip of an all-wheel drive, like a Golf R or a WRX or something like that. So, when you're really pushing to the limit, you're losing some grips at one point. But this is really normal for a front-wheel drive SUV. We got a bunch of gadgets we can play with, obviously, because it's an N model, just like an SRT M model. We've got a bunch of buttons on the steering wheel. We've got that blue N button on the left. You can change your normal modes, so it's going to be like Eco, Normal, and Sport. On the right side, you've got another N button. This is your custom N mode, so you can pre-configure how you wish to have your N mode, just like inside of a Cadillac V or something like that. With that custom mode, you can change the behavior of your engine, your direction, your suspension, your transmission, your ELSD, your traction control, your exhaust, and also the heads-up display. Pretty cool, it's literally like stuff you can find inside the cars who's gonna be double or triple of the price of this one. I like these kind of stuff. You've got some graphics also with the G-force and all that. You've got your launch control. Really fun, I can put everything in Sport Plus and still keep my suspension in normal mode. So that's a big plus for where I'm driving, because I don't have the ideal road, so I can play with that. That's always a plus. One big button also on the steering wheel is the NGS button. This is pretty cool. This is kind of like F1 stuff, I could say. With that button, the NGS stands for the N grind shift. So when you push it, you've got 10 horsepower more. So that's pretty cool. And you feel that 10 horsepower more. It's cool, and this mode is good for 20 seconds, so it's kind of like an overboost of your engine. So if you want to pass someone, do a harsh acceleration, you know, it's just a really cool gadget, and I had a lot of fun with it this week. Exterior wise, the Kona N is really easy to tell it's an N. You've got a different front fascia. It's all more aggressive. Also on the side, you've got those side skirts with the N logo on it. In the back, completely different rear bumper with really large exhaust. Also, you've got that more aggressive spoiler with that Formula One kind of light in the middle. I really like that. You've got some sport wheels, bigger brakes, red calipers, performance tires, and logos all around. Also a red line all around. So it's really easy to tell it's a N model, and I think it looks way better than the normal Kona. And it's easy to tell it's not the normal Kona. So I think that's a big plus for the exterior design. Stepping inside of this Kona N, you know, it's plain and simple. We've got some decent seats, all in suede with some blue stitching. I really like that. I hate the seats inside of the Elantra N and also the Veloster N. They're way too narrow, way too hard for me. I'm way too big, way too large, way too tall for those seats, and I think they're not friendly for daily use. These seats are way much more comfortable, but still you've got some decent support with those seats, so that's a big plus. You've got more of that SUV comfort with those seats. I really like that. Obviously, all around the interior, you've got some N touches. All the controls are plain and simple. It's still like an entry-based kind of like SUV. The screen, it's the same as you can find inside of any Hyundai products. Easy again to use, pretty clear. The rest, you know, there's no funky colors inside. It's all black, but I don't mind. You know, I think it does the job. You've got a place to recharge your phone wirelessly. You've got heated seats, heated steering wheel, and if we step in the back, plenty of space, more space than a GTI or Honda SI or something like that. There's no really competition against this Kona N to compare something with. This SUV is so unique on the market. You know, you can compare it with the GTI or maybe something else, but these other cars are not. They're cars. They're not SUVs like this. So, you know, it's hard to really compare. You've got decent amount of space in the trunk. Obviously, it's still, you know, an SUV. It's not an hatchback, so it's way much more practical. Fuel economy wise, this week I was averaging 9 liters per 100 kilometers. Obviously, you know, I had some fun with the NGS button and all that. Maybe you can go down in the 8 or 7 liters per 100 kilometers when you're gentle with it. Decent fuel economy for this type of performance SUV. You get almost 300 horsepower under the hood, so it's not the best fuel economy, but it's really something you can daily, and you know, it's not gonna, you know, ruin you at the gas station because it's a performance model. So that's pretty decent. Price wise, there's not a ton of option on the Kona N. It's basically fully loaded like this one, only one transmission. There's no manual transmission. So the model I'm testing this week, it's good for $42,538. Decent kind of price. Once again, I've got nothing to compare this model with. The only feature really missing from my point of view, and I want to end a little bit the test drive on this point, because it's an SUV. I wish this Kona N had the all-wheel drive system. I think that would be a big plus, more practical, you know, all year round. It wouldn't have that Torq steer. Maybe it would compete against, I don't know, Golf R and all that. I wouldn't think, you know, price-wise, it wouldn't be that much. I would prefer probably paying like maybe $46,000 for something all-wheel drive than 42 for only two-wheel drive. I think maybe the all-wheel drive system will be maybe have more potential with that powertrain. From my point of view, that powertrain, it's really powerful, but with the front-wheel drive, you know, it's pretty much the limit of power a front-wheel drive can really handle. You know, sometimes you're losing traction and all that. Same thing for the handling. I think the Kona N would be a superior machine with the all-wheel drive system. So let me know in the comments, what do you think about the Kona N? Do you like it's one of the only performance SUV on the market of this size? Are you just like me, you wish this Kona N had the all-wheel drive system, or for you the front-wheel drive is doing the job? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share, and we're gonna see each other on the next review.